Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football. My name is Dave. I'm here with Cleve. I think Scott will be joining us shortly, though I know he does have plans to watch the Northern Lights tonight, Cleve. Cleve, did you know that we can actually see the Northern Lights from our location tonight as well?
No, I've never even heard of it. What's up, Scott?
Hi.
Is that a thing? Is that new?
You've never heard of the Northern Lights? You've never heard that we could see them here?
No, I've heard of.
Okay.
Affectionately known as the Aurora Borealis.
Okay,
Yeah,
I assume so, but okay.
Yeah. But seeing it from here, like I've never seen it from here.
Imagine what people thought of thousands of years ago when they had no explanation for what was happening. When it was like red and green in the sky.
Yeah.
Blue,
imagine what Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks these things are right now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that one, but I'm thinking with all the ayahuasca stuff they were doing, they probably thought it was trippy. So there we go.
Yeah. So Scott, I know you're out here at throw for 300 yards, we lose. Throw for 54 yards, we win, I assume.
Hey, one of those plays, he had a 42-yard completion in those 54 total yards. He did. It went to Brees Hall.
We're gonna get to it. Like I can't even rant anymore. I'm just doing. I'm just like, okay.
You have all the picks.
That's what we're doing.
You have all the picks. It's all good.
Yeah. So we might not get to all the games tonight because we'll probably get out of here about 8:30 tonight, so Scott can go see the Northern Lights because I'm sure in Michigan they're going to be super clear.
I just was outside. That's why I was late. You can see the stars. So at some point, it's going to be super cool. If you guys want me to share pictures that I got from a few years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll get some pictures, man. I would love to see that.
It is otherworldly. I mean, obviously, it's, but like, it's really interesting. It's just lights, and it's just your camera picks it up much better than your eyes do. But it's magical in the weirdest way. And I'm not like Scott, a magical guy,
Scott, can you explain scientifically what's happening that causes the Northern Lights?
Absolutely not. It's geomagnetic stuff. It's particles that are charged positively and negatively, whatever.
It's the Earth's magnetic field, bro.
Okay.
And so here's the thing. Scott understands the Northern Lights better than Brian Daboll understands late game scenarios. So we're going to start with the Bears 26 at the Giants 23.
Wow.
Giants blow their fourth double-digit lead in the second half of this season. Brian Daboll gets fired because of it, very understandably. Their interim coach is Leslie Frazier, who I did not know was still around, but he will be there. Their interim coach. Wow. No, it's Mike Kafka. I lied. It's Mike Kafka. It's Mike Kafka.
Yeah, no, it's Mike Kafka. I was like, no way.
Yeah, no, it's Mike Kafka. It's their interim coach, former Northwestern quarterback. The Bears in this game had to come storming back despite having no turnovers, committing no turnovers or taking no sacks in this game, I believe, as well. So, but obviously the big story out of this one is that Brian Daboll does get fired for the Giants as they are now 2-8, 2-7, 2 and something. So if we can revisit the show from a few weeks ago when I asked why everybody in the broadcast was just glazing the Giants like crazy because Jackson Dart was playing average and they haven't won a game since. This is kind of what I was talking about. And it feels like I'm victory lapping here. It's because I 100% am. We get a lot
but are you though
on the show?
I would throw rose petals at your feet, sir. Rose petals at your feet.
Yes, this is a victory parade. Build me my ark. This is it. What's really funny about this, Scott, is that I had actually come around to the fact that maybe they should keep him because he is obviously good with Jackson Dart, but you cannot blow this many games in the late stages. And in this game, so clearly and obviously, and keep your job.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nitpicky. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like Dable deserved to be fired. It's just, at this early point, it looks like you might have something with Dart. If you can keep him unconcussed, I don't know how you're going to do that. His desire is to put himself in danger. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. You're launching yourself at a defender's helmet. What are you doing? But I don't know. Did you guys see the clip from the draft when Shane was talking to Dable about when they had settled on Dart? Did you guys see it at all? It feels like Shane was 100% putting Dable under the bus. Like, if you guys feel convicted about this guy, and if you guys have done all the work and you think he's the right guy, then I guess we'll just roll the dice there. And it's pretty much what he says.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah. And it's like, but that might have been a scenario where Dable might have been somewhat right. It's just long term. Who knows?
You can't make this many in-game coaching mistakes in year 4, whatever it is, and not get fired.
Yeah,
Cleve,
I'm not even. He needed to be fired for the coaching stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's necessarily associated with the personnel stuff. I mean, they have talent. They do have pieces in place. You're doing some of this stuff without Neighbors.
That was the thing. When Neighbors went down, that was it.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't. They beat the Eagles without Neighbors. They had a big lead against the Broncos without Neighbors. They had a big lead against the Bears without Neighbors.
But are we holding them accountable for getting big leads? Right? Like,
did they have Scadaboo against the Broncos? Did they have Scadaboo against the Bears? They did not.
No.
Right. They lost those games because of poor coaching, not because of lack of personnel. Right. Lack of personnel is what gets you blown out in games. Like the Commanders playing without Jaden Daniels against the Lions. It is not why you lose double-digit leads in the fourth quarter.
Both you guys, I'm curious what you both think. Do you think it's an attractive spot for a coach to go into?
No. Owner's an idiot.
Yeah. I actually
tell us how you really feel, Dave.
I actually second that. I mean, New York is a great market, but it's not an attractive landing spot for working for that ownership. Same for the Jets. It's like,
so I think there's a lot of places where where you could say negative things about an owner or ownership or whatever. Would you rather walk into Cleveland today or going forward, Cleveland or the Giants or?
Well,
the Giants
I'd rather go to the
Jets.
I'd rather go to the Giants because they have no future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in that division, and the AFC North might have the other 3. So that makes it a bit harder.
I would just say Cleveland's a snake bit.
Question, though. Go ahead, Cleveland.
Yeah, they're snake bit.
Yeah. I think that big picture, when you look at the teams in the top 10, not the Rams, because the Rams are the Rams have the 10th overall pick right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather if I'm a good coach, I'm thinking about who am I even thinking about? Whatever. I don't even know who I'm thinking about. You want to go into Tennessee and their situation, or you want the Giants? Right? Or Cleveland or New Orleans.
The market. There's a lot. The market is better. The market in New York.
I just think the team is better already.
Yeah, we're not discounting that. We just the owner, working for that ownership group. Because
and there's something else here too, and this is good because Cleve is a Jets fan. Scott and I are both from Michigan, so we're Lions fans. We're Midwesterners through and through. Although now I live in the DMV, where Cleve does too. So we have a bit of a mix here. But the thing is, this is hard for Cleve from North Jersey, but New York sucks and everybody hates it. Not the city, the sports fandom. The city is amazing, but the sports fandom. If you're not from New York or Boston or Philly, the rest of them all hate all of you. And I don't know that New York is a great market if the job itself is not great, because you're just going to pick up hate from literally everywhere else, right? A great job is like the Colts, because nobody cares. If you do great. If you don't, whatever. Nobody's going to be dancing on your grave or anything like that. The job I'd rather take than New York, Scott, is Arizona.
Oh boy,
you think?
I don't know. Is that even going to be an available job?
100%.
Yeah, is that
Why?
Because they're going to lose like 6 more games, finish 3-14, and Gannon's gets fired.
They got Jacoby Brisket in there. Come on, man. Like,
yeah, and I don't know that he had anything to do with. I mean, I know he took the job, but Kyler Murray was already there. I think he's done a good job there. It's just Kyler Murray. But yeah, and I mean, it's a valid. Who knows? You know, I don't know that I'd really. I think I'd rather have the Giants job. That's just me.
I know we're talking about owners, but we can't judge them by their hair. I'd rather have the Raiders job.
Oh no way. That is a burning dumpster fire.
You have Genty, Bowers, and Crosby to build around, or Crosby to move to get pieces if you want. You either have Geno in the last year of his off into the sunset, year 0, or you can go get yourself the quarterback this year if you feel that's the way. But if in year 0 with Geno, you can go 2-15, get the first overall pick into 2027, where the draft class might be better. And
I'd rather have Dart.
A quarterback then.
I'd rather have Dart. I would.
Yeah, Geno.
All the quarterbacks coming in are who the hell knows. Cleve, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'm going to mute myself.
Oh no.
Cleve's internet's just a little bit. Cleve's internet's just a little bit behind us. That's the reason why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not on purpose.
Hang on. I want to interrupt him one more time before I mute myself. All right, I'm done.
Also, I don't think Scott is actually muted.
No.
Yes, we can hear you, Cleve.
I'm too stupid to be able to do it.
The Bears, on the other hand, the Bears are 6-3 and tied with the Lions atop the NFC North. Cleve is drinking. Of course, that's what Coach Roman is drinking.
I actually saw that, and Caleb is actually playing really good. He's playing good football. So I'm not all the way turned around on it, but he's definitely trending in the positive direction.
It's very clear that Ben Johnson is a much better coach than Matt Eberflus. Like Caleb Williams might end up being the 17th best quarterback in the NFL, but who's going to be the 94th best quarterback with Eberflus? So he may never still hit where he was drafted, but he's not going to be an absolute dumpster fire with Ben Johnson at the helm. Scott, you're muted now. I got you. I can do it for you, I think.
Oh, my God.
I cannot. There you go.
How embarrassing. Can you hear me now?
When you talk?
Yes, you're good. Go ahead.
I don't know if I have anything else to say after that spectacle. I think the attention to detail is something else, right? Like
for Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
not Caleb Williams.
No, but but if any of that rubs off on Caleb Williams, and he does get, if he does get it turned around, and they can figure out what exactly what do they need to do on. There's still some confusing things that are happening with that offense. There just are. More Luther Burden, please. Like if you're a Bears fan, I think you'd really want that. Maybe even at the expense of some other things, but you look at Colston Loveland coming on, right? And that the whole thing to me is you look at their running attack. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but his ability to create a running attack with people like DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, I finally said it right.
Rutgers legend.
Yeah. 7th rounder. Like his ability to create a running attack is super impressive. And you don't do that without being detailed and understanding, exactly what you're doing. So the Bears have a good coach. It may or may not work, but they have a very detail oriented offensive mind. And it's very obvious Caleb Williams has, otherworldly physical talents. He just does.
And he's holding the ball so long though.
Yeah. I mean, he does really want to hold on to the ball. And that has been, if people want to nitpick his game. That's been his game since the early college days. Like,
Yeah.
it's 3rd and 3. Your primary option is standing at 5 yards wide open, and you turned that down so you could chuck a ball 40 yards down the field out of bounds. On the run. He did that stuff a lot, and he still does at times. But the next step for him will be learning. I think will be learning how to take just a touch off of some of his throws, because they're all just. I don't know how much you've watched. Either of you guys have watched like snap in and snap out with him, because you're not really seeing it if you're just watching Red Zone. But like everything he throws is an absolute rocket.
Yeah.
And I think that we saw Josh Allen do some of that stuff. And yes, I'm talking about him in a Josh Allen way.
Wow.
But we shouldn't anticipate. I don't think that's he was the first pick with so much fanfare for a reason. It's more that he's got to learn. He doesn't have to learn to improvise and do any of those, the out of structure stuff. It's more take the stuff that's just given to you. And some of that stuff is not. Remember when Stafford was first in the NFL and Clev, a receiver would be 4 yards downfield from him, and he would throw the ball through his body. Like, just get it there for him, right? And I think Caleb Williams is doing that a little bit. So when things slow down a little for him, I think it'll pick up his play, and it's kind of scary to think about what he could become.
I completely agree, and I don't like the fact that the Bears are looking this good this early. Sunday,
I'm not a
early
fan of it
game.
either.
Sunday early game. Cleve, did you get up and watch the Colts Falcons from Berlin on?
I actually wanted to, but I was so tired the night before. I didn't. I saw highlights. Jonathan Taylor is him.
Yeah. Yep. In this game, he ran for what, 200 and some yards and 3 touchdowns again.
55
and,
or something.
Yeah.
55 or something like.
Yeah. Yeah. Just absolutely crushing. Crushing
you think
game
if he,
for Jonathan Taylor.
Both you guys, you think if he, God forbid, he gets hurt, you think having the game in Danny Dimes' hands, you think they're not the same team without him? You think he's that much of a factor? Like, I mean, obviously, any good running back takes.
No, the entire offense is built around him. He's like Derrick Henry on the Titans. Like, that's it. Like, if something were to happen to him, their team is.
Daniel Jones does not look good the last couple of games.
No, he's taken 15 sacks the last 3 games.
Yeah, picks, fumbles, sacks, all of it. But Jonathan Taylor
is he fool's gold?
No, the whole team played bad against Pittsburgh, and then this last week, for some reason, it seemed like the Falcons were going to take away Daniel Jones, and they did.
Yeah.
Good job, fellas. Well done.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor's awesome.
Should Jonathan Taylor be in the MVP conversation?
Yeah. I think he should.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Who is Stafford right now the MVP?
Nope, not according to betting markets. Stafford is second favorite. Who's the betting favorite right now, Scott?
No idea.
Get your pen and paper ready. It's Drake May.
It's Drake May. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be Stafford, right?
No, because I have a 33-1 that I'm holding on Lamar Jackson, because the Ravens are going to crush down the stretch here. If it's Drake May right now, that means it's wide open. Lamar comes down the stretch, crushes. Ravens win the division, get the number 2 overall seed. Obviously, because Lamar came back, Lamar wins. I'm holding my 33-1. I'm doing the show from a yacht next year. That's the plan.
I don't think he practiced today.
Lamar. I don't think I can buy a yacht for $330 either, but still, I'll be excited to win it.
I want to say he's out with a knee injury. I don't know how long, but Lamar is always a good bet for these things. It's just I think Stafford has like 25 touchdown passes. I don't know how many May has, but I think Taylor should be right there. But Dave's right. It's a quarterback award, always.
Yeah, and Mahomes will have a chance to play himself right back into it as well. Last Thursday, the Broncos beat the Raiders 10-7. That game was a crime against humanity, so we're not going to talk about that one. Bills 31, Dolphins. Nope, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. Dolphins 31, Bills 23, I believe. I think I typed it up backwards. Anyways, the Dolphins kicked the shit out of the Bills is the point. Cleve, I know that surprised you.
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. Trap game, I guess, but you throw for 300 yards and a loss is crazy. And that was a sneaky 300 yards. That game didn't look like he threw for 300.
Well, yeah, because it didn't look like any of his players ever caught a pass.
It was 30-13.
I was 300 yards. I was shocked.
Yeah, it was
an incredible performance by the Bills. I mean, obviously for the Dolphins too. I mean, to beat Buffalo like that. But what happens there? How does that happen?
It was an incredible performance for Devon Achane.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Achane is, and I have a good friend at work, shout out to Dino, who was complaining about how players these days always go to tackle high and how back in his day they always tackled low. And I pointed out to him that that's just because he remembers the good players. If you just went back and watched the games, a lot of them were tackling high too. That's how Jim Brown ran for all his touchdowns. But players like Devon Achane, because he's only 5'9" to begin with. Yeah. So here's some 6'4" linebacker, and then Achane sort of crouching down and getting low. Yeah. Now he's 5'5". Like, what are you're going to hit him high? He's going to bounce off you, and then he's going to run a long way. So
yeah. At 4'3".
Yeah, the Bills have no offensive talent outside of Josh Allen, James Cook, and Deion Dawkins. Everybody's a dust ball or dust ball adjacent.
I love it.
Damn.
What about Khalil Shakir?
What about him?
You think he's a dust? You think he's dust ball adjacent?
Khalil Shakir would be a surefire wide receiver 3 on the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Lions, the Rams, number 3 option on the Cardinals, number 2 option now on the Saints. 3 if Shaheed was still there, he'd now be number 3 in Seattle. He'd be number 3 option in Baltimore. He'd be number 3 in Cincinnati. He'd be number 4 in Kansas City. He'd be number 4 on the Chargers. You see what I mean?
Sure.
Right. And that's the first name you mentioned.
But, I mean, what else? You want me to bring up Keon Coleman?
I said they're all dust balls or dust ball adjacent. You said, what about the 4th best pass catcher on the Chargers?
Well, he's the number 1 for the Bills.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. And so that's why I think this team is capped. And I think that it would be very interesting if the Bills really did kind of fall off here, go the first round of the playoffs, and decide to clean house. It could be the best thing for their long-term outlook with Josh Allen. Because I also don't think Brandon Beane is a good GM, and I don't think that Sean McDermott's that great of a coach.
Well, they're definitely floundering in purgatory currently. They haven't been able to get over Kansas City or the playoff hump, so to speak. I don't know how old Josh Allen is, but they're burning years of the best years of his career.
He is 29.
Yeah, I agree.
It's crazy to think about it like that.
They gotta make a push now within the next 2 years, or he's gonna miss that window big.
But they need weapons. Like, I mean, Dave, it's a valid point. It's just currently they need they need weapons. They're not in a great position to get them.
But that's why they went out at the trade deadline and acquired Rashid Shaheed.
That would have been fine.
Oh, wait, no, they didn't. They didn't do anything.
That would have been a fine move.
Yeah, they just literally didn't do a thing.
They did not.
Yeah. That's why they went out and got Jacoby Myers. Oh, wait, no, they didn't.
See, I can understand why they wouldn't go get Myers, because they have a whatever slot receiver, but they need outside guys. They need they need Jamison Williams is what they need.
How about Xavier Worthy?
Okay, fine. somebody to stretch the field for, like they need somebody like that. But I can't imagine the Chiefs would be giving the Bills Xavier Worthy. But
no, the Bills gave the Chiefs Xavier Worthy.
I know they
on the draft day trade.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes.
Ravens 27, Vikings 19. Scott, JJ McCarthy, it is bad. True or false?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Isn't it kind of early? He's played 5 NFL games.
Well,
I thought he was good against the Lions.
Well, is right now.
Like today?
Yes.
His most recent game he played pretty poorly, yes.
Every game except for that one quarter against the Bears. 42 pass attempts in this game for 248 yards. I'm telling you, man, this is better than against the Lions.
Easy.
Yeah, 42 attempts
Wow.
for 248 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Justin Jefferson.
You couldn't do that in Madden.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, though, was dog shit in this game. 4 catches on 12 targets for only 37 yards, and he fell down and caused one of the interceptions.
Yeah, he did.
He really not big up his quarterback in this game. I wonder if Jefferson had actually played a better game himself, if that could have helped McCarthy out here, because this was actually an abhorrent game for Justin Jefferson. It really needs to be pointed out here, because I think he's going to end up, when all is said and done, being unquestionably the best wide receiver to ever play the game. I think he is just an insane wide receiver. This game was pure putrid dog shit from him. And I don't know if it's because he's upset or he was just having a bad game or whatever it was, but he's got to get that flipped around, because he cannot be that bad ever.
If the Vikings chose JJ McCarthy and JJ McCarthy looks like this and does this to the weapons that they have, like think about what Sam Darnold did last year up until the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
If JJ McCarthy is suppressing their skill position guys like this, they're not going to survive this. They're going to get fired.
No. I mean, I agree. And the thing is that I'm sure Jefferson would not have been able to catch 10 of his 12 targets, because I'm sure more than 2 were not actually like that catchable or whatever. But 4 for 37 on 12 targets is not acceptable for a wide receiver of his caliber, no matter who the quarterback is. Right. So
he should have had he's got like 180 yards.
If he gets 12 targets, he should have 7 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown.
At least. At least.
I could be the quarterback. Like, it doesn't matter, right? And so he clearly had an off game as well. And I'm wondering if the cycle here doesn't start with JJ. I'm wondering, like, if it starts with Jefferson and then he's like out of it. He's checked out. So Addison's checked out. So what I'm saying is, I think that because everybody played so bad, there's a path forward where everybody just plays well instead.
Yeah.
This isn't like Jake Browning throwing to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, where Chase and Higgins are still doing well and playing well, and Jake Browning's clearly garbage. They were all garbage in this game. The Ravens are going to win the AFC North. Jets 27, Browns 20. Cleve, how cool was it seeing back-to-back touches on special teams go for touchdowns?
That was actually pretty cool. I thought you were going to open with something else, but that was actually pretty cool. We missed, meaning the collective fandom of football, NFL kickoff returns. Like, it's something, because you don't get to see them as often as we're used to. So when they happen, it's a very magical thing. That was awesome. I just don't know how you can throw for 54 yards. And as Scott said, jokingly, 45 of those 54 was like your biggest whatever down the field. In an entire NFL game, like 4 quarters of football, that 54 yards is what you I don't know if I don't think he's a backup. I don't even know if he should be in the league. And again, he's far in between a better athlete than I would ever be or ever was. I just don't understand like what we saw, that we gave all that money to him, and we're not getting any return on it. It's just crazy. Like he's still holding the ball forever.
So Justin Fields threw for 54 yards on 11 attempts, so that's only slightly worse than 248 on 42 attempts. Right? Like,
yeah,
he just had to throw the ball that much. And also, they lost 2 possessions because they scored special teams touchdowns on them. Right? So like, instead of getting the ball to 25, be able to throw and have 75 yards to go get yards and throw passes, they just ran back kickoffs instead. So that will diminish all the yardage numbers. Now, that being said, without those special teams returns, 1, the Jets lose, and 2, he probably still only throws for like 130 yards on 18 attempts or something. It still would be really bad.
I need to look this up. We're in week 10, right? Is it week 10?
It was week 10, yes.
I don't think he's thrown for over 1,000 yards yet. Has he?
No, but he missed some games too. So
I'll tell you, Clev.
He threw for a lot the first week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but in week 10, most of these guys are over 2,400 yards. Some of them,
Well, sure, because that's only right because that's 240 yards a game. Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the reason why it's only 54 is clear. It's because the special teams touchdowns. But even with them, the point remains because it still would have been a bad number, just not this hilariously low 54 yards.
I think I can get 54 yards in a game. Just onto the phone.
I'm looking at his box scores. This is crazy. And back on October 12th against Denver, he threw for 45 yards. On the following week against Carolina, he threw for 46 yards.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So 3 of his last 4 games, he's thrown for a grand total of 145 yards. He threw for 244 against Cincinnati. Yeah. Like,
wow. Dave, answers.
It's wild.
Answers. Like, what do you?
There's no answer.
Really. What are we talking about here?
No, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be so mad because he is going to go be Lamar Jackson's backup on the cheap. And Lamar's going to get hurt in a couple of years, and Justin Fields is going to come in with the coach that knows and the exact right system or whatever. He's going to be a backup for 2 years. He's going to walk in, and he's going to go full Marcus Mariota, and he's going to win like 4 straight games for the Ravens or something. And we're all going to be like, what the hell, Justin Fields? It's just because it's going to finally be the perfect system for him, and the pressure is going to be off of him.
He's collected a game check for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And that is the output. Wow.
If you think about it, Cleve, they structured his contract so that way they can get away from him after this year.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You don't have that hanging over you, right? So either he plays himself into a position where you want to restructure his deal and extend him long term, or he plays you into a really early pick. There's really no in between. And unfortunately, they beat the Browns last week. You don't want to be winning games right now. But they have so many picks. It's not, I don't know that it's totally relevant for them to have to get the first pick this year. I think you'd want the first pick in 2 drafts.
Give me a quarterback in the last 10 years that has been that bad. I'm like with Josh Rosen. Like, give me a guy.
Well, just passing, because the thing is with Fields too.
Yeah.
If you're judging Fields, you have to take the rushing into account. I mean, it is part of his game, right? So there are big quarterbacks, but just that bad passing, but they also can't run, right?
Yeah.
But I would say that Justin Fields in year 5 reminds me a lot of Will Levis in year 2, and that's really bad. That's really bad.
And well, I wanted you to say that. I wanted you to say year 5 we're talking about here. Year 5.
Yeah.
And I get it. The guy's been on a world tour a little bit. I get that. Right? He's had a couple of stops or whatever.
Yeah.
But man, that is 10 weeks of football and that's your stat line? That's crazy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope he does go play for the Michigan Panthers because we would win multiple championships. He would be the best quarterback in that league without question, like by a mile. But the best quarterback in those leagues for a long time was Jeremiah Masoli, and he can never make it in the NFL either. Or PJ Walker. So
yeah.
I would love it. I would love to see Justin Fields he would be Cam Newton if he went and played in that league. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure we're going to see that. Patriots 27, Bucks 13. This game. Yeah, the main thing about this game for me was that the outbreak, the breakout for Travion Henderson. Scott, finally, the Patriots couldn't waste carries on Fat Mondre. They had to play Travion Henderson, and we saw what he can do.
That's a confusing. The whole year has been confusing with the fumbling and him not being able to emerge, and then the other guy fumbling and him still being third. Yeah, it's confusing. Did you guys see the play where he looked to the sideline and was almost like, "Hey, should I score? What do you guys think?"
Yeah,
that was cool.
I mean, that was heavy.
I did not like that because it was an obvious scoring situation.
I just think
it was an obvious scoring situation. He didn't need to make sure. The other team had 2 timeouts left. You have to score there. Like that should be a very obvious situation, and that's the same whether you're in high school, college, or whatever, because you're after the 2-minute warning. So,
very clearly he's had to navigate a little doghouse situation.
Yes.
So probably in his best interest to look.
I'm glad that he double checked and had the ability to do that because he was running so fast that he could slow down and look over. But you just know Vrabel was like, this idiot, score the ball. Obviously, like if we didn't want you to score, we would have told you beforehand. Like it was such an obvious score situation. I was actually cracking up when I saw him. I want to get his exact score line here. 14 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Had a day.
And there were moments where he looked incredibly fast. Like he's got juice. I don't know. It's that whole situation is bizarre with how long it's taken him. Now, I know Vrabel's a bit of a dinosaur in some ways, but you're gonna really wait till week 10 to let this guy who looks like that finally take over?
Yeah, even if they thought that like he wasn't at great in pass protection or whatever, get him the ball more. You're giving carries to Fat Mondre and something named Terrell Jennings
and Antonio Gibson.
And
those guys couldn't stop. Those guys couldn't. They can't stop fumbling, and it's like, yeah.
So it was really fun watching my 11th place basketball teams jump up to 8th place.
Did you see Kyle Williams' touchdown?
Yeah,
rocket ship.
Yes, he looked pretty good as well. Yeah. The Patriots might actually have a little something working here. And they're going to
get all this without Kayshon Boutte.
I mean,
it's crazy.
A jag of Jags. The Patriots are going to kick the shit out of the Steelers in the first round of the playoffs.
We'll see.
Let's see here. What else do we have? We got about 20 minutes left. Let me pull this up here. Sorry, producing the show during the show. Saints 17, Panthers 7. I am out of all my survivors now because of this just absolute flop from the Panthers. Now, you might be saying, hey, Dave, how can you pick the Panthers? They're the Panthers. We can only pick each team one time. And the Panthers are never going to have any sort of value ever again after this game. So I take the Panthers, all 3 remaining entries. They lose to the Saints at home. After the game, a lot of the players said in their interviews that after their win in Lambeau last week, they, quote, got too full of themselves and lost focus on the Saints.
What?
You can't get too full of yourself. You're the Panthers. Like, you suck always.
Hilarious.
That can't be real. That's AI, bro.
That's multiple players. They were like, this was the feeling in the locker room. We were feeling ourselves. We were feeling ourselves too much. Feeling what? You're the Panthers.
Tyler Shock.
That is funny.
Threw it all
They're-
the
they're-
yard on him.
They're the damn Washington Generals making a 3-pointer and then celebrating as the Globetrotters go down the field to do an alley-oop. You know what I mean? Like, and win by 30. Like, your
Are we out
quarterback
on
is
Bryce
4'7".
Are we out? Like out on Bryce Young?
No, we're over Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, it's done. It's done. Wish
He
him
does
well
not
in his
look good?
career, but no, does not look good.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having to update notes and stuff as I go here. Let me see. We did that one, did that one, that one. Oh, Texans 36, Jaguars 29. The game was 26-0 going into the fourth quarter. Cleve, this means CJ Stroud must have had a huge game for Houston, right?
No,
Don't
it was
answer
the
that,
neck.
Cleve.
That's
It was
right.
the neck.
That's right. It was the bastard love child of Steve Grogan and a giraffe, Davis Mills.
Did Mike
The
Glennon play?
separation of helmet and pad is ridiculous with this guy. It's like that much neck between.
Does he
base
have an
of
extra
helmet and
cervical vertebrae or two? Is that what happened there?
Or 6.
Was his dad a giraffe?
his NFL picture is ridiculous. You guys seen that, right? It's like he's
Yeah.
like a
Yes.
giraffe
Yeah.
with it, bro.
So in this game, Davis Mills
How did you
pretty much all the fourth quarter goes 27-45 for 292 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, adds 3 rushes for 20 yards and a touchdown, the game-winning touchdown at that at the end of the game. 26-0 going to the fourth quarter, and you lose. I know it's Liam Cohen's first year, and he's lucky it's his first year. If this was year 3, he's joining Brian Daboll on the Bloodlines.
Yeah, Black Friday would be waiting for this guy for that kind of club. Trevor Lawrence is a bust. I've said it many times on the show. And Dave, I need you to throw his pedals at me for this, because that last drive, I don't even know what he was doing. I don't know if it was the play calling or his instinctual whatever he was trying to get down the field, but the very last play he takes a sack, right?
I don't think it was play calling, Cleve, because Liam Cohen looked like he wanted to murder him.
Yeah, also, I'm not going to blame Trevor Lawrence for this, because they did have a 26-0 lead, of which he was a pretty big part, and also the entire team collapsed, not just him. So the only person we can't really blame for this is Travis Hunter, because he didn't play. Everybody else is in for some shit because of this.
Yeah.
Now, I saw some of my film watchers that I watch made some good points this week that Trevor Lawrence still does not know how to layer his throws. Like, all his throws are on a rope, no matter where he throws them. And that's where he gets into a lot of trouble. And I'm like, how is that possible? He's 28.
It's a skill. That's a little bit with the Caleb thing. Like, if he can't develop that skill, that ability to layer throws, it limits a lot of the areas of the field that you can target. Like, you can't really go into the middle of the field if you're especially like against cover 2, you just can't do that, because you have to throw up over a linebacker in front of a safety, and it's just hard to do. Some quarterbacks are really good at it. Some quarterbacks not so much.
I don't understand how a quarterback of his pedigree can't do this. Like, how did he get the pedigree?
He was 17 years old when he got the pedigree, and in year 1 at Clemson, they won a national title, and I don't know that he's gotten really much improved since then, honestly.
Yeah, I am kind of baffled by this. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, the Texans come back in, win this game, and good for them, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much for them. This could matter a lot, because the Colts basically won the AFC South.
Yeah.
With this. Like, that but just. Yeah. Paul says CJ Carr can layer throws. He's a sophomore. Yeah,
he
that's
sure
because
can.
That's because he's got a national championship head coach as a grandfather.
Hey, Paul, if you want to come and get CJ Carr, come and get CJ Carr. That's all I'm saying.
What, the Lions?
No, in college.
He already plays for Notre Dame. Oh,
get him for
fantasy. I was like, see, he already has CJ Carr on his team. Oh, you mean for fantasy?
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sure.
Whatever.
Paul says make an offer. I saw no deals ever happen in this league. Everybody tells everybody else to make an offer. Nobody ever actually makes one. All right. Back-to-back 44-22 games. We're going to start with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seahawks went 44-22 with this is second straight game in Clev where they were up 28-0 in the second quarter.
Man.
They're a wagon.
They are very good.
Yeah.
What's the
Sam Darnold?
I can never say his name. Is it
Njigba?
How do you say his name? Okay, he's awesome.
You say it. Yeah, you
awesome.
say it like it's spelled. It's just weird because the end of the J are next to each other, but it is Njigba. Right. So you do say it like it's spelled. Njigba.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome. That dude runs routes like he's a route guy. He runs routes precisely. You can I used to watch a show called Sports Science. I don't know if you guys ever called it. I'm into that nerd shit.
Of course.
I think they blindfolded Plaxico Burress and had him run like a 15 something. He ran it precisely when they said the ball's gonna be over your right shoulder or whatever. He turned and the ball was there and he caught it. Like blindfolded. Like I think Njigba can run like routes like that. Like this is it's poetry. Watch this guy run a route, bro.
Okay, Plaxico.
Darnold.
We're gonna put a blindfold on you now. The gun is
I know
in your
where you're
right
going with
pocket.
this.
Oh Jesus!
Dave, Can you pop a hole in your leg, sir?
Has there ever been more of a Sparty no than Plaxico Burress going cheddar bob on himself in a Manhattan nightclub?
Did you see that Michigan State had to wipe some wins off there? I mean, oh boy.
Cleve, did you see that?
No. That really
so
happened?
So remember how Michigan, everyone was giving them grief because Connor Stallions was like trying to steal signals and all the signal stuff, and they were like, the hammer's coming, NCAA is going to hit him the hammer, especially Ohio State, Michigan State fans, of course, right? All Michigan's going to get the hammer. You're going to have to vacate your national championship. Punishment comes down, no vacating, of course, because it really impacted play on the field. There are no ineligible players, that sort of thing. Turns out Michigan State was paying people under the table, reportedly, paying like prospective recruits under the table on recruiting visits and shit. A couple of them end up going to MSU, so now they're ineligible. Michigan State had to vacate all 14 wins from the last 3 seasons after talking all that shit.
Oh my God. Damn.
Yeah.
Never laugh at another person. Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just the only way it could be better if it was Ohio State, because they would have had to vacate a national championship. But yeah, it's just so great. I mean, Michigan State, they really are a little brother. Like they really are, and they were dominant in this rivalry for 8 to 10 years recently. Like no doubt, but
they really were
little brother.
I don't know, Dave. I think there's still time for this.
Yeah, like a ballpark of what a payment was to a kid. Like they paid like $100,000.
Yeah, that I don't know because standard
they pay like $100,000 to a kid.
Standard as far as I know is that you get $1,000 for every star rank that you have on official visits. So if you're a 5-star kid, you get $5,000 all on any official visit. Now, of course, this is like not actual payment. This is like the under the table stuff, but this is something that kind of everybody's been doing for a long time. So for the NCAA to be able to come down on them, I would assume that it had to be higher than that. And also specifically the kids they ended up getting because the players were then ineligible after the fact. Yeah. So, and I know that
for a kid.
What's that?
Michigan? Did they pay?
No, Larry
$10 million for a kid.
No, Larry Ellison paid $12 million for a kid.
We're talking pre-NIL stuff too.
Yeah, but even then, this is still impermissible. Like this, you still can't do this now. But before NIL stuff,
you can't.
Yeah, it was common
by giving them money.
So, because I know for a fact for a couple of 5 stars from the Detroit area that were always going to the school they ended up at, but went on all their official visits because they got $5,000 from each visit. Now, not every school was doing this, but any school that could routinely pull in 5-star and 4-star visits from across the country was doing this. So that includes Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. If you could get Georgia, if Brock Bowers would come visit from Northern California to Georgia,
and we think that they only got $5,000.
So
Yeah,
the thing is that
Yeah, more than $5,000.
Even black markets regulate themselves, right? So you can't have a situation to where everybody's doing something illicit, but somebody will do it a lot more for an advantage because then somebody will dime on them, right? Like if you start selling drugs too successfully, your competition will call the cops on you, right? Like you can't.
Yeah.
Like you have to stay like a dime bag is a dime bag everywhere for a reason. You have to sort of have that market, and it has to be known to the consumer as well. So let's say that we have a 5-star wide receiver from Pennsylvania who knows he's going to Penn State. I'm making this up, by the way, but a 5-star receiver from Pennsylvania knows he's going to Penn State, but he takes his visits to Miami, Florida, Tennessee, and Nebraska because he knows he's going to get $5,000 each time he shows up. Well, that's a pretty good deal. They get to be like, look at who we're bringing in. Look who might be thinking about coming to our school. Their hat goes on the table when he makes his selection or whatever. So it looks good to like the recruits they're talking to. So it's not much for them. And the kid makes $20,000 real quick. Like if everybody knows it's kind of what it is, that's a good system for everybody, especially because the 5-star and high 4-star kids are pretty much only going to the schools that are going to offer that money anyways. It's not like a 5-star kid was going to go to Eastern, but Tennessee gave him $5,000 on a recruiting trip. But if a 4-star kid was going to go to Missouri and Michigan State gave him $35,000 on a recruiting trip,
yeah,
now it could be an issue. And I'm making that scenario up, but that's where the issue there could come in. But the main thing here is that it's hilarious that they were insisting that Michigan would be having wins vacated and lose their national championship because some guy was stealing signals from other teams, which every team was doing anyways, which of course was never going to be the case. And then Michigan State turns around and kind of out of nowhere gets hit with the you have to vacate.
That's why I'm kind of still holding my breath a little bit with the Michigan stuff because I think it just seems like the Mel Tucker thing took some time. It wouldn't surprise me.
But the Michigan stuff was already out. They've already issued all the stuff. It was the huge fine and the show cause for Jim Harbaugh, which is basically for life, and the show cause for Connor Stanley, which is basically for life. What happened to Michigan State today already happened for Michigan earlier this year. They investigated it.
I know, but did we know that Michigan State was even being investigated for these things until today?
No, they self-reported as part of their, as I understand it, they self-reported as part of their attempt to, because they wanted to get out of having to pay Mel Tucker's buyout. They wanted to fire him for cause. So they self-reported it so that they could prove the cause. And so they probably don't have to pay the $70 million or whatever. But then all this comes out. But the thing is, Michigan won't vacate anything because Michigan never played or coached anybody ineligible. The second the story broke, Connor Stanley got fired. So they played like the Ohio State Rose Bowl, all that without him. And so nobody ineligible was ever competing. So there's nothing to vacate. Right. Now, don't get me wrong. If Jim Harbaugh were still the coach at Michigan, he should be fired for this, not because what happened was so bad, but because he hired this obviously crazy person and was not monitoring what these crazy people were doing in his own program. So I do think it would have been fireable for Harbaugh given all this, but that's not the same thing as playing ineligible players. Also, I don't think Michigan State should have to vacate these wins for playing these ineligible players. I think ineligible players like Reggie Bush at USC, that's an ineligible player, right? Not whatever this situation was. I didn't think Ohio State should have gotten in trouble for selling their gold pants either. Actually, they got more in trouble because Jim Tressel lied to the NCAA about it. But I don't think these ones should have been vacated. I think the rule's kind of bullshit. It's just really funny that it happened to Michigan State after they were so insistent that it was Michigan that was going to have this happen to them.
Yep.
Oh, little bro. Okay, since we only got Scott for a few more minutes here, we're going to jump to Lions Commanders. Lions also win 44-22, absolute belt to ass, which we expected here. No Jaden Daniels for the Commanders. Lions coming off the horrible, horrible loss to the Vikings. We're mad about the playoffs last year. But Scott, I want your thoughts on Dan Campbell taking over play calling duties from John Morton. What the point is of John Morton? When can we fire him, and when can we hire Mike McDaniel?
I don't know about Mike McDaniel. I don't know if he's.
When can we hire Brian Daboll?
Whatever. I don't know about any of those guys. I don't know what John Morton is currently up to. He made a big fuss in the media last week, which is it's not good for his long-term viability. Did you see any of it?
No, I did not. Because keep in mind too that is not local news down here, so that makes it a bit trickier.
Okay, so Dan Campbell. So the media was asking what's the deal with the offense. Like there's it just seems like there's so much. It's so different. Things are off. And Campbell gives an answer as to what he thought was going on. The players give an answer as to what they thought was going on. And John Morton steps up to the mic whenever he did and says, "My scheme's great. The players are failing. And my scheme is great." And it's like, no, dude. Like everybody saw what you did to Jahmyr Gibbs against the Vikings and you forcing him to stay in and pass pro and failing. That's scheme, right? So then the Lions have to, for the next couple of days, try to figure out what it means that head coach said something that the coordinator rebutted, that the players then said, no, it's not this. And the coordinator said, no, my scheme's fine. It was just weird. In a week in which he ended up having the play calling, in hindsight, it had already happened. He'd had the play calling taken away from him. So it's just a bad look. I think it's positive for the Lions that they went out and immediately showed and looked exactly like they did in previous years with Ben Johnson as their coordinator.
Yeah.
Efficient, in rhythm.
Jameson Williams doing stuff.
Time. Yeah, run lots of short crossing routes where it's just much easier to complete those kind of plays than it is to complete a throw where you're waiting for somebody to uncover 15 to 20 yards downfield kind of stuff. The Lions offense looked awesome against Washington, but Washington's defense, man, not great.
Yeah, if the Commanders had the heart and commitment and the stones, they would fire Dan Quinn after the season. I don't think they will. I think they'll see the success he had last year and be like, oh no, and Jaden Daniels got hurt. I don't know they're going to be able to see that like this isn't actually working. But it's not working.
So Dave, so if you go back to last year, their wins, they weren't blowing anybody out. They were eking out wins. Even like the Hail Mary play or whatever, they eked out some of those wins. So it could have been a one-off. Not saying that Jaden Daniels is not good. I'm not saying that, but they weren't world beaters. Like they weren't destroying people. So I would actually fire Quinn. Like I would.
Yeah, mainly because it's not that Dan Quinn, I don't think is a bad head coach, but he's
28-3 collapse in a Super Bowl.
Again, full team. And actually, Kyle Shanahan is way more to blame for that as the offensive coordinator and his play calling. And he's a great head coach. So, but I don't think Dan Quinn is a bad head coach. But Dan Quinn is not a good enough head coach to like build a sustainable team and all that. But Jaden Daniels is good enough for that. I think that they might actually. It would be really funny if they fired Dan Quinn and went out and hired Brian Daboll to coach Jaden Daniels. I actually think that would be like, and then just troll the Giants forever. That could be amazing.
Don't you think they need a really, really smart offensive mind to run that team and call plays?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know who that is though, right? Like I don't know where you go for that. I'm sure there's a bunch of, offensive gurus out there who could do that, but like I think you got to really dial up the things that Jaden Daniels is good at and get back to
Shane Waldron's going to be available.
Oh my gosh, no. Nope.
Okay, so we're going to end the show here tonight so that Scott can go look at the sky.
I'm going stargazing.
I can't do that normally. I'm just kidding. That's
Hey,
awesome.
Hey,
Cleve, it is technically visible for us, but we might be too close to DC to where there's too much light pollution, and we're too far south. We might not be able to see it, but it is technically visible
just
from where we are.
take pictures with your camera. Your camera will pick up the particles
Ultramagnetic
significantly more than your eyes will.
Okay, I have to make a confession here.
No.
I almost just asked, but which direction do I look? And I was like, oh,
Up.
they're the northern lights. probably look north. It's probably a good idea. So yeah, hey, even the best of us sometimes. Cleve, any final words?
Look, dead bird. Did you look up? Dead bird?
Look up.
Okay.
At the eclipse?
Like
our glorious leader?
I was just gonna say that.
Here's
Donald.
I don't know how Dave feels about this, but a little dejected in the DMV that we just spent 40 days in I don't even know what to call it, and to have the ultimate betrayal actually about the words.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have more dog in them than Senate Democrats.
Yeah, it's just a little disheartening, and the future looks kind of fucked up. So we'll see what comes of this. Did they vote? Is the government open? Like, are we officially back?
Not yet. And now Senate Republicans are signaling they want tougher abortion restrictions in exchange for the ACA subsidies because they're good at this and Democrats are horrible at it.
But wait, did you see the little poison pill stuff that John Thune put in there?
Was it Thune or is there other poison pills in there?
It's Thune. Thune did this, and it's essentially giving $500,000 to the senators who were involved in January 6th investigations, and that it's just money that's sitting there for them. They have to sue the Department of Justice to get this money, but the DOJ is not going to stand in their way to get it. And it's like, who would agree to that?
Wow.
And a lot of Republicans, House Republicans are a little bit apoplectic about this appearing in this bill.
Wait.
Like, I don't know what it means, but it sounded good, right? It was perfectly used.
It's brilliant.
Like, what are we doing? But
yeah. Wow. Any chance of this thing not happening, or is it a done deal with the votes?
I don't know where it is in the process, but if the Senate Democrats have already voted to open it, then it's just got to go to the House, and the House will vote to open because it's got Republican control. So, I guess House Republicans have to agree to the same deal, but I'm sure they would. So
yeah, they can't change any of the verbiage. If they change a single thing, it's got to go back to the Senate.
Yeah, so I'm sure they would, because
don't take me. I'm on the top of my.
No, I think you're right.
Don't take you
right.
Yeah, but you're if you're not exactly right, you're generally correct, which is the most we could ever hope for on this show. Yeah, no, it was horrible. And when I saw that Democrats were capitulating less than a week after just sweeping all those elections, including here in Virginia,
I don't agree. Yeah,
it makes absolutely no sense. But it's very clear that people like Angus King, Tim Kaine, our senator here in Virginia, these are not people that are ready to meet the moment. I don't know anything about Angus King. Tim Kaine has been a great statesman for a long time. He was Hillary's running mate. I've voted for him a number of times since I've lived here. He's former governor of Virginia. He's well liked. So I don't have anything super negative to say about him. However, he is definitely not the right person for this moment. And if the government opens with this deal going through, he and all the rest of them that have Democratic governors should do the honorable thing and resign immediately so that real fighters, if they can meet the moment, can be appointed by the Democratic governors. If the Republican governor, you got to stay there. So, but you have a Democratic governor like we will here in Virginia. As soon as this is done and Emil Steinberger's in office, Tim Kaine should resign.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a little more fight than this. It makes me wonder what is really happening behind the scenes for that kind of forced push from 8 of them. So what's going on?
Fantasy football analyst Denny Carter also has a blog called Bad Faith Times, Patreon site where he talks about politics. And in an article, he wrote that the thing that really got them is that there are going to be flight delays around the holidays, and they personally don't want to be inconvenienced by the flight delays and cancellations. That's his theory.
Wow.
That's-
Okay.
wow.
Well, that's bold.
Wow.
Holy shit. I mean, if that's really,
Well, it is like the most recent thing that happened that then, right? Like Snap stopped going out November 1st. And they
I
didn't
know,
budge.
but he's saying that these people, the individual people are going to be
He
put
basically
out
said
by
that they're coddled millionaires that do not want to be inconvenienced and so disconnected from the actual fight that
Oh man.
they will now
Man,
capitulate so that doesn't
tough.
happen.
Wow.
That's a working theory. But again, when you have to ask yourself, I wonder what the reason is. It's got to be something, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, immediately I
Scott.
went to a much. I didn't go down that side. I thought maybe they are so upset about the Snap stuff and some of the other things that have gone on, and they just want to get people, people who are suffering something. Apparently,
But the thing is, I don't think that's the case. And again, it's because it's 8 of the most milquetoast Democrats, but not 8 of the dumbest ones. And again, with Tim Kaine being in there, this sort of
But
kind of gives it away for me.
8 are not running. All 8 are retiring, right? Or they getting out?
Or they
they're
just
either
got elected
they're either
again.
retiring or not up in 2026.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Hang on. Give me 1 second here. I'll find it.
Milk toast.
If they wanted, if they were concerned about SNAP benefits, you would absolutely never capitulate because then you're teaching Republicans that mass starvation is a weapon that works. Right. Like if you were really concerned about people not getting their SNAP, you'd be like, we can't let Republicans know if they take SNAP away, they can get us to bend because they'll keep taking SNAP away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that was your concern, you would absolutely not capitulate in this case.
All I was saying is that I wanted to give them the credit of doing something honorable. Like, all right, I understand that you caved, but there has to be some real reason, like in your heart, you had to do this. Because, of some reason, no, that's not what happened.
No, it's not. It's not at all. It's absolutely horrible. And I don't understand how big power elected Democrats are so bad at politics. Like this game is not even that hard, and it's rigged so much in favor of incumbents. You don't have to worry that much about being reelected, especially in the Senate. Like just do the right thing. And you had mathematical evidence from last Tuesday that the country is behind you.
Yeah.
Right. If the country didn't like the shutdown, Spanberg would have set records for electoral victories in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, running up huge numbers, and like Great Falls and all these other rich places. Right. The people were with them and they just shit all over it.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Take some pictures.
Okay.
Well,
yep. Scott, go enjoy your lights.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll try down here.
I'll send some pictures.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, y'all. So thank you everybody who tuned in. Paul in the chat. Appreciate everybody watching. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, share the link, leave comments, all that stuff. It does really help. We really appreciate it. And we will see everybody next week. Peace.
Peace.